Good evening and welcome to the Board of Adjustment meeting, our April meeting. And I think we have enough people to start. And, oh my, let's move forward. I'll call it to order. And may I ask, Mr. Mordesier, would you lead us in a pledge if everybody would stand? The flag is right here.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay. Roll call, please.
Ms. Phillip,
Here.
Mr. Haber,
Here.
Mr. McDermott,
Here.
Mr. Mondesier.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. An announcement to the audience for variance.
We will have our newly appointed zoning administrator, Mr. Nixon LeBron, read the announcement. And before we commence, I would like for him to actually commit himself to a short introduction of
Okay.
himself. Thank you.
And I'm sorry, I
Thank you,
didn't
Madam
know in
Chair.
what capacity. Welcome.
Thank you. Like Mr. Rowland said, my name is Nixon LeBron. I'm the new zoning administrator. And I can tell you it's my privilege to work for the city of North Miami and to serve as a liaison to the Board of Adjustment. And as such, I would like also take the opportunity to apologize to you for the delay in receiving the package for this meeting. Ms. Lauren Tappan, who was the zoning administrator before me, was under contract with the city. He left during the very first week when I started. So there was some, as with any transition, there was some miscommunication. But I can promise you I will work diligently to make these proceedings, smoother in the future, and then such thing will not happen again. Thank you.
Okay, so with that said,
With that being
and I don't know, I'm going to waver off the topic a little bit. So, because I see a lot of our members are not here, and I know I received a call for Ms. Cohen, who says that she has a conflict because she didn't know, because with the packages. So I want to make sure, are we legal in terms of announcement? Was it advertised? And
Yes,
that-
Madam Chair. I can assure you that I would put a stop to these proceedings if that was not the case. And I had requested that Mr. LeBron also bring with him the actual,
Copy of the,
so as to serve as proof and
Perfect.
for the record that it was published. It would be a disservice that because of an internal chaos or disruption, that these applicants who are here before you to hear their matters be interrupted, so to speak, and then delayed yet another 2 months. So
good.
I urge this board to please consider the facts and to proceed accordingly. It is a fully advertised proceeding, and we're ready to go.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, one quick question.
One quick question. Are you going to be with us moving forward on a more permanent basis?
Yes.
Or are we still interviewing new
No,
potential?
I'm a full-time employee with the city.
Fantastic. Looks like you're our first draft pick.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay,
Welcome aboard.
I never thought of that before.
and with that said, I guess we'll explain what the procedures are.
Yes. When the petition is announced, the applicant shall approach the microphone and state his or her name and address for the record. Please be advised that the following items on the agenda tonight are quasi-judicial in nature. If you wish to comment upon any of these items, please indicate your interest to address the board when the announcement regarding the quasi-judicial item is made. An opportunity for persons to speak on each item will be made available after the applicant and staff have made their presentations on each item. Please speak directly into the microphone and state your name and address for the record, and also your comments to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. And with that said, I ask our attorney to administer the oath.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Anyone desiring to speak this evening on any of the matters before you, please stand and raise your right hand. Anyone desiring to come forward and speak, please stand. And this is the applicants as well that are going to be speaking on behalf of their items. You need to stand.
Stand up.
Or anyone else. You don't need to be an applicant. You could be a member of the community that wants to speak in favor or against an item. You're welcome to do so, but you must first take the oath. It's painless, I assure you. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You see, it didn't hurt, but you may be
See, it
seated.
didn't hurt
Thank you so much.
You don't owe us anything. Okay, with that, any amendments to the agenda?
I had one question. Are we going to approve minutes from last meeting? And if so, are we going to be provided with them? Because they weren't in my package. I know. I don't know about the other board members.
No.
We can defer the approval of the minutes for the next meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please make a note.
Yes. Any communications?
None.
None, other than the fact Ms. Cohen was going to be out. All right, now our first case, which is V-2B-14, and that's Kashaya Badal, and I'm killing the name, Child Care, 13301 Memorial Highway, and I think this is a continued case.
That is correct. On the February the 19th meeting, this board unanimously approved the special exception for the child care center.
Casey Badal, 13301 Memorial Highway, North Miami, Florida, 33161.
Okay, and being this,
This petition before you is for variance to Article 5, Section 51402 of the Land Development Regulations to allow 8 parking spaces where 10 are required for a child care center pursuant to Article 3, Section 3-606 of the Land Development Regulations in the C1 zoning districts. As Mr. Olin just mentioned to you, this is a continued application. There was a special exception that was unanimously approved at the last meeting. There was also a variance application for the same property, and at the board's request, the applicant was supposed to redesign the parking to provide drop-off area for the kids, the parents, and then as such, the applicant has reviewed their plans and provide parkings. But given the constraint on the site, they were able to provide only 8 parkings where 10 are required for the use on the property. Staff recommends approval of that application because there was a lot of conditions that exist on the property that really are peculiar to the place, to the land, the structure, and the building. Now, this is a building that was approved, by Miami-Dade County under the Miami-Dade County zoning regulations, which are quite different from the regulations of the city. And as such, staff feel comfortable to approve this variance, but he has prescribed certain conditions that would not only improve the look of the building, but also mitigate any impact that such use can have on the surrounding properties. So staff feel free to feel very comfortable, recommending approval for that variance.
thank you. And Ms. Badal, would you like to add anything?
No, not at this time. Thank you.
Okay. All right, with that being said, I'd like, gentlemen, no? Okay. Anyone for or against this particular item? This is your time. Or forever hold your peace. Okay. Any board discussion?
Sure. I'll start out. I was not here last month, but I was brought up to speed by Assistant City Attorney Mr. Galdos. It's my understanding that this is a newly annexed part of the city, and in such, our city takes we want you to understand that our city takes a great deal of pride in the community, and our zoning and our code compliance and everything is going to be probably a little bit stricter than what people are used to in other municipalities. Therefore, I encourage you not to be offended by the conditions that they've brought upon, that they've written into the approval. And if it is approved, you're going to have a list of conditions that'll require you to really improve this property and make it pleasant for the community, for the neighborhood, for the neighbors, and for yourselves. So don't be offended. Rather, be impressed that we care enough to ask you to make these improvements and take pride in these improvements and take them very seriously and help us to keep this a beautiful city. That's all I say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. McDermott?
I'm looking for the additional parking spaces that we were looking for on this particular use. Can I see them?
I believe it's in the page, the scope of work, then it says a square.
Let LeBron answer it, because he
And
would
there's
know.
Yes.
bottom says site plan.
Roland?
I mean, maybe they
LeBron.
can explain it further.
LeBron?
Yes.
Where's the, I know we were asking
LeBron.
for additional parking.
Actually, the applicant has provided 4 parking space on the site itself, because the property was built with 4 parking spaces. But
Right.
they were able to reconfigure and provide 8 on the property with that drop off for the kids. So
1, 2,
We see 4.
3,
Where's
4,
the,
Yeah.
5, 6.
where's the
Seven,
the
eight.
plans are.
You're looking right here? These are the ones that are numbered.
It's in the other map.
There's
yeah.
So,
This little thing, I'm sorry, you'll be on the record.
yeah.
This little part where the
Sheet
the
A1
numbers
Yeah.
are,
on the site plan provided.
yes.
okay.
It's the lower right-hand side.
Okay. Okay.
Anyone else?
So there's 8 out of 10,
Yeah.
essentially.
Anybody else?
And I just
What-
wanted to add that, if you don't mind, Madam Chair, that I recall this coming before the board back in February, and I just wanted to commend the applicant for her due diligence in actually addressing some of the issues that were concerned for the board members, which was the drop-off during the peak school hours, which the school is across the street. So I see the 8 parkings, and I do see the drop-off, and I think you guys did a great job with that.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
And since last meeting, I did go, and unfortunately, I downloaded the pictures, so it's not on my phone. But I went to see. And this is a property that has been a child care center for the longest time. So if they didn't have issues before, I don't think they're going to have issues now. And I hear what you say, and I'm all about keeping our codes and all that. But I did read somewhere that we need to start looking at and revising and updating, because all these requirements that we make, like the constraint, when we talk about development, and, well, I'll
Yeah,
find that
yeah.
article and share it with you next time, but, you know,
Madam Chair,
I'm
I'm not-
glad that they went ahead and they did, but at the same time, too,
I don't want to make it difficult, through the chair, I don't want to make it difficult for businesses to open in our city.
Yeah.
That's not our goal. It's quite the opposite. But in discussions with Mr. City Attorney, we do have some standards that other municipalities prior to us didn't enforce, don't care about, and it's just for the benefit of everyone, and they're not big deals either, just some landscaping and simple things that you guys can do. But
Oh, no,
Mr.
that is
Galdos,
fine.
could you address her statement, please?
Yeah, first of all, the conditions that were enumerated were already accepted by this applicant, and they were mirrored in the special exception use that was already approved. So it's not, they're not new, and they're not so onerous that they are prevented from opening up their doors. That's number one. Number two, it is a newly incorporated, as rightfully stated by Mr. Haber. This whole area was newly incorporated into the city of North Miami, and it's been in the county's hands since forever, eons. And in embracing that whole area onto the city of North Miami, obviously, as they come forward, the applicants come forward and seek variances and special exceptions, our code will apply, and certain conditions and upkeep requirements would be made at that point.
oh, no, and I understand and agree. I was just saying that I remember years ago when we were looking at this whole issue with waterways, people with their boats and the thing, and that we had to do something about it. Well, I read an article that had to do not with North Miami, but with the United States in general, and how cities need to look at the parking requirements that they are imposing, because it tend to, in any case, I'll find, since I can't remember it,
Well,
I will find the
I would
article.
welcome reading it, and the way I look at the LDRs, the land development regulations, they're a living document. They're not written in stone, so that never
Right.
to be modified. To the contrary, they have
Right.
to, they have to reflect our current realities.
Of course.
And that's why
Of
we
course.
amend them, and that's why I'm here, because we amend them as needed. And
Well, one of the great issues that's come before, I went to the state convention of code enforcement, and I think, did you go with us last year? And one of the things that they're saying is, and this, we don't mean to belabor your point, but
This is a little off
a
topic.
little off the subject, but the issue is that most cities in the United States, including Florida, and there was a great conversation about it, are trying to bring about stronger code enforcement. The problem is that a lot of cities have relaxed too much, and it really has brought down the quality of life and the quality of businesses that come into a city. So, and one of the great issues for North Miami is the lack of parking. And,
Well,
you know, so, but with that
that's a
said,
deterrent. Go ahead.
with that said, I would like to move approval of the applicant
With the
Thank you.
conditions?
with the
With the
conditions.
conditions.
Yeah.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, roll
LeBron,
call,
did you
please.
want to say, LeBron, do you want to say something?
You were looking up like you wanted to say.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
Oh, no, I was just going to mention to the Madam Chair a point. If this hasn't been no daycare for the longest, because in Miami-Dade County, the requirements for parking are different. They don't require one parking per 200 space,
Bingo.
because it's basically, you have to provide parking for the employees alone. And then because if depends on the enrollment, then you would have to provide drop-off area. It maybe if it's less than 40, you only have to provide 2 parking space plus the number of employees. So that's why now they have to come before us because of our regulation to apply for parking variance.
And
got it.
just one point that I'd like to make is that this isn't individual to this case. This is going to occur on
With
every
all
property
these
that
that we
is
acquire.
newly annexed.
That's right.
As we see them coming in, we're going to have to apply our rules to their
Standards.
properties and our standards, and everybody will have to go through this process. It's going to be very fair, transparent to everybody, hopefully.
Did anybody second my motion?
Yes, I
Yes,
did
they
second.
did. I call for a roll call.
Ms. Phillip,
Yes.
Mr. Haber,
Yes.
Mr. McDermott,
Yes.
Mr. Mondesir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Congratulations.
You pass. Thank you. Enjoy and good luck
Thank you.
with recruitment.
Keep the kids safe, please.
Yes.
I usually ask about that. I forgot.
No, we took care of that last time.
Worship Center.
Okay. Our next case, V-4-14, New Life Family Worship Center, 1195 Northwest 119th Street. Is the applicant here?
Looks like she's coming.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Doris Smith, 1195 Northwest 119th Street.
Thank you. And Mr. LeBoer?
Again, this is a petition for special exception use pursuant to Article 4, Section 4-302 of the Land Development Regulations to allow a religious institution in the C1 zoning district. Again, the applicant has requested that special exception use because in that district, religious uses are only permitted, after approval at a special exception. If you read your package, you'll see, some of the services that the church would provide, and then the designs, and then the capacity of the church. And one of the problem, because they don't have enough parking, because again, they can only provide 19 parking on the site, and then the total requirements for the site would be 34. So they have tried to be creative using certain section of the code to provide, car pool space and bicycle space, as in our effort to provide, for green, spaces. So, and then they also have entered into a parking agreement with a neighboring property for those, I think, for 12 additional parking. So, in total, they would need 34 because of the reduction to provide, the carpools and then bicycle lane racks. They are required to provide 31 with, so they are short of, they're not even short because they were able to acquire 12 parking to the agreement. So again, staff, have recommended, approval for this petition. There are also some conditions that we apply, that we have made on the applicant to provide, to beef up the landscaping and to make sure that the parkings, are up to our dimensional requirements and standards, and to replace, some of the buffers around the property, and this use, as stated before, requires special exception approval by the Board of Adjustment because it's located in the C1 district, and then so. I mean, most of the requirements to grant that approval, they have met that, and so we feel comfortable, recommending an approval. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Davis, would you like to say?
Yes. I would just like to say, in addition to what we have already proposed on our proposal, our ultimate goal is to enter into the city of North Miami and enhance, in other words, add to, bring positive attributions to what is already a positive and established character and integrity in this city.
Okay.
Go ahead.
As a point of order, if I may, Madam Chair, before we proceed, I need to cure, there's a conflict in the documents that, that I subsequently discovered, and I need to cure for the record. If
Okay.
you look at the application, and this is to provide the applicant with proper legal standing. If you look at the application, the property owner's name is Fishman Investments LLC.
what?
Fishman
Fishman
Investments LLC.
Yeah.
Are you in concurrence with that? It's there. That's the application. That is the property owner under the application. However, if you look at the property records, you will notice that the property owner is stated as Piece of Earth LLC. So there's,
Ooh.
I'd like to cure, no, I'm about to cure that. We're going to cure that. I have here copies of the quitclaim deed transferring title, conveyance of ownership from Piece of Earth LLC to the proper owner, Fishman Investments LLC. So the application stands correct. And for the record, I just wanted to cure that conflict.
Okay.
Because I don't want a legal standing issue to arise subsequently from these proceedings. I have here a copy of the rather valid quitclaim deed. The transfer of ownership occurred February 25th, 2014. Obviously, the county is somewhat behind schedule.
Well, it was after the date of the application, so that seems fine.
Are you representing Fishman or the church?
No, they're
No,
representing,
Blue
they're the
Line.
tenants, but I need to establish that the owner, as applied for,
Right.
is the correct owner, and that's what I wanted to put to rest. Whether, it was caught or not, but I caught it, and it's on the record, and there's a proper quitclaim deed, and we are, you may proceed accordingly.
Okay. We had another case like that at one time. Flag and, okay, I'm too old at this. Okay.
What is the property's current use?
Excuse me?
What is the property's current use?
Well, our current use is basically what we're proposing here today is it identifying to you exactly what we want to use it for. It's a ministry, a church, but we have not obtained our certificate of use, and that's the reason why we're here today
Oh, I see.
to obtain. So this is what we're proposing, where we're moving forward to our goals and what we would like to do once we have obtained the proper documentation.
I see. Okay.
Okay. And before I move on, were you guys operating someplace else before?
Yes, in Miami Gardens, Florida. Yes, we
Okay.
were. very successful in Miami Gardens,
Thank
and we want to bring that over to you all.
All right. Anyone for or against this particular item? Okay, then board discussion?
I usually ask the applicants about security and lighting in the evening. It's generally what I'm most concerned with.
Thank you so much. I was really prepared to answer that question. We have great lighting. Our whole outside of the back entrance, front entrance, if you ride through there, you'll find we're completely lit up. Whenever anyone is entering or exiting at night, we make sure that there's someone to escort them in. The lighting there for us, the traffic lighting gives us safety and added safety because it helps us to prevent congestion, traffic congestion. So we always have someone there, especially with the ladies, the children, to make sure they are safe. That's one of our ultimate goals.
Okay.
Okay. Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the application.
Go ahead, Mr. McDermott. So moved. Second? Second?
I'll second
Second
that
by
again.
Mr. Haber.
Sure.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Phillip,
Yes?
Mr. McDermott,
Yes.
Mr. Haber,
Yes.
Mr. Mondesir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, you've been approved.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Okay. And I think we have one more case. And that's V-5-14 Apex Training Center, 12601 Northeast 7th Avenue.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Stefan Larson, and I'm the president of Apex Training Center, as well as Apex Tech, which is a service company for air conditioning and refrigeration as well.
Continue. I thought I saw something. Go ahead. Mr. LeBron, go ahead.
Yes. This is a petition for special exception use pursuant to Article 3, Section 3-504 and Article 4, Section 4-302 of the Land Development Regulations to allow a technical school in the C3 zoning district. This is rather an existing multi-tenant property, and there's a 6,000 square foot one-story office building on the lot, and then which is now where there's already an existing nursing training school. The applicant, wants to operate, in conjunction with that nursing school or a technical school to train people in the field of, AC and refrigeration and also appliance repair. In the C3 zoning district, educational facilities are not allowed by right. They require a special exception. This is why they before you tonight. So this, as the letter of intent stated, it's only the applicant only use 600 square feet. In essence, it's basically an expansion of an existing use, because there would be no additional impacts on the public services, on roads, and this would basically blend in within the surrounding area, because there's already an existing school there, and this is one of the reasons why there is no really condition imposed on this recommendation, because there's already an existing. The applicant only going to use 600 square feet. So we recommend approval for this item also.
I got you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I only see one other person. Anyone for or against? All right. Board discussion.
Madam
Mr.
Chair,
Mondesir.
I have a question, just for my understanding.
Yes.
Currently, there exists a nursing school,
Yes.
Yes.
so the nursing school is going to operate during the day and you guys in the evening?
Now we have enough space for them to operate both at the same
Also,
time.
both will be going on at the same time?
Yes.
Yeah, because I thought the face was familiar. I knew
Yes.
they came to us
For-
for something else.
Exactly.
Okay.
I also have a air conditioning company that I relocated my office in the same building as well. So we just recently got the certificate of use for it. So we're going to operate both the school and the training center.
About how many, and I'm sorry if someone has, how about how many students do you,
The classroom runs between 15 and maximum will be 15 approximately. Yeah, on this.
Okay.
Yes.
okay.
Okay, Madam Chair?
I have
You have a question?
I have a two-part question,
Sure.
which you partially answered.
Sure.
Number one would be, what is the relationship between you and the nursing school?
There's no relationship at all.
Okay, so it just was a matter of convenience because you had an office?
Yes.
Okay. And are you doing any modifications at all, or
Not at all. There's no.
Is there any heavy equipment or anything? Heavy
No,
equipment?
we have
or-
usually a lot of boards. Boards are things you can move around a lot, so it's not no modification on the building is concerned.
That's all I could think
When you
of.
say
Yeah.
technical, what are you going to be teaching?
It basically refrigeration systems and air conditioning. And the way we use it, we use a lot of boards with the equipments on it, and we teach them, and we go outside with the students and on the field, and we do the actual training on the on the field. Because I do have a company, air conditioning company, refrigeration as well. So that's and we're doing the job training while we're doing the training with them.
Okay. That was going to be my next question. The
Sure.
actual hands-on training aspect of it is done off-site.
No, it's on site. You can do it in the classroom. It's not a big deal. You can do it in the classroom. And that what I do is additional. Not all the school do that because they don't. I have both a company and also the school.
They don't have,
You
I think,
understand?
I
Yeah.
understand. They don't have real refrigerators.
Yes.
It's like they'll put motorboard,
Yes.
if you are looking at computers, they'll have these different parts mounted to whatever board, and the students will be,
From there, they-
from
Yeah,
there.
because you cannot put a walk-in cooler in there and teach walk-in coolers, I know, but you can have it on the board and then do the actual training on it.
Gotcha. Okay, anyone would like to make a
Yeah, I'll make a
motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the applicant.
A second?
Seconded by Mr. Mondesir. Roll call, please.
Ms. Phillip,
Yes.
Mr. Haber,
Yes.
Mr. McDermott,
Yes.
Mr. Mondesir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, you've been approved.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Good luck.
Congratulations.
Thank.
Make sure those students get hired somewhere.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well,
AC's always breaking down.
we have old business. Any? New business? Of course, lots of new business.
Nope.
Well, that's old business.
my
We knew
goodness.
that.
Oh, you, yeah.
I know.
You gotta learn how to
Joanne
bake
needs to bring
LeBron
it.
cookies, man.
Now, new business. New business. Ms. Tappan is no longer with us. That's new business. Mr. LeBrun is now here. That's new business. Oh, and you don't want to know what I did, Roland.
What did you do?
Now it's a matter of public record.
This,
Well, if you don't mind, Mr. LeBrun, I'm like that. I'm like that. I'm very open. They came to my door, dropping off the thing, and I think I put Georgette on the spot. And I said, well, when are you going to be promoted? Because, we need to start hiring from within and da-da-da-da-da. And, I'm sorry I wasn't there, but that's my philosophy. Okay, but welcome. We're going to put you to the test. All right.
question, as a board member, when are we supposed to be notified exactly of the meetings? If there's a meeting that'll be taking place during this respective month?
I think it's usually like a week and a half.
Yeah,
'Cause I didn't get anything,
the
emailed
packets,
or
yeah,
so.
and I
Most-
guess.
For the last
Usually was a
many
week.
years,
This-
we
Usually
would
it's a week
receive our
before.
packets on Friday
Friday
afternoon,
before.
hand-delivered to our homes.
Yeah.
Yes, the Friday
For many,
before.
many years. I've never missed a packet. Because of the change in operations, they haven't been doing that. But if we get it by Friday afternoon,
Yeah,
you
that's
have plenty of time and opportunity to meet with Mr. Galdos if you have questions, which I do religiously before every meeting, to just go over all of the items. And I encourage the other board members to do it too. It really helps being in tune with the agenda.
And as Mr. LeBron had indicated, although he has accepted responsibility and apologized, he was the least person responsible for what transpired, seriously.
Yeah, but he's coming
He
up
just
in
came
his
in on board, and the deficiencies I report to you shall be cured. And I believe, I have full confidence in Mr. LeBron's, I have faith in Mr. LeBron that this will not occur again. Give him the opportunity, please. Let not this,
So basically, by that Friday, we should know whether or not we'll be meeting that following Wednesday.
well, you should have received the packet and a call. Your call should come in
Yeah, even if
The Friday prior to?
prior
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
you know.
to ensure.
Well, we'll see
Yeah,
LeBron
and
next
some-
month if you make it to the
and
playoffs.
Sometimes there's a call to make sure that we have enough in terms of a quorum, and that usually determines too, what's happening. But, we're on this board, so we really have to put ourselves, I like to tell them when I'm not going to be here, because I know they already put the announcement, and people have their cases to be heard. So, it's not fair when applicants come in and we won't be able to meet for quorum. But that hasn't happened.
And going forward, I don't know, if you don't mind, when I meet with Mr. Galdos to set up the agenda to send the mail notices, the advertisement, and also in the newspapers, we can notify you also by then.
Where are we being advertised right now?
The Daily Business Review.
The what?
Not the Herald
No, it's
or the Biscayne.
Yeah.
It's
Just
not
that one
the DBA.
publication is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a general
Enough
circulation,
to-
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, but
not
who gets
less
that?
expensive.
And I'm
It's-
sorry,
It's less expensive. It saves a lot of money for the city.
No.
you don't want to get me started on that, Mr. Haber. But my concern are the residents. When we're talking about daily business review, we're talking about a shrinking pool. Most residents, the average Joe like me,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying you because you're Joe,
Yeah, I'm average.
the average Joe like me, we will get it either through Miami Herald or even, from, if you're in the African American community and
Times.
the New York, not
Times.
the New York Times, the Miami Times. So business review, and I hear what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Come on, folks. It's the average
We don't really,
person
it's
is
not our,
not really.
I think it's up to the city
City clerk.
manager, and it goes through the city budgeting
Well,
and all that other stuff.
I'm
It's
putting
like-
it on record that the city manager needs to look at different ways, because if we're serious about it, when people start saying, well, I did not know,
Yeah.
and da-da-da-da-da, and where is it being?
Yeah.
And then people start to really delve, well, why are you putting it in business? Who gets the business review? Are the residents getting it? You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I think, just for the record, I think that it is difficult to get all these public notices because they're all clumped in, and it's one after the next after the next. It doesn't matter if you look at the Herald or the Miami Times or any of them. They all have all these notices from all these
Yeah, but
different
the
cities.
neighbors, it was in the neighbors, and it was pretty clear. It stood
in
right
there.
out.
Yeah, when
Okay.
it was in the
Yeah.
neighbors, you
Yeah.
used
Okay.
to be able to see it with no problem.
Yeah, but I do know that it's on our website, on our city website. It's posted, which is like universal for anyone that has computer access.
Computer access.
But do keep in mind, the property also posted, there's a posting on the property, advertising.
There's also, right, as Mr. LeBron has just indicated quite accurately, there's a posting on the property and also a mailing. So and also, we generally tend to post these notices at City Hall as well. So there's a lot of coverage, but having said that, it's up to the city administration to decide upon a paper of general publication.
I think they really should think about.
We'll voice your
it
concerns.
might be right, and it might be right. Sometimes it's right, but are we saying to people, I'm working with you, those type of things.
But that may also translate in greater cost for the applicant.
No, not really.
No, really? Okay.
Oh, well.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Enjoy, have a blessed
Thank you.
holiday, Easter, and Passover, and everything else that we're covering. Let Mr. Rowland Galdos have that.